Okay.
Actually, I should probably pull up your stream so I can see what you're talking about.
Yeah. All right, guys, what
That
is
would be
up?
good.
Welcome to episode 1 of HexTcgPro Procast, which is kind of misleading in case there's any new people watching us. It's actually not episode 1, it's more like episode 47. But anyway, here we go. I'm here with Sean. He's on my far left. John Tatarusky in the middle. And Charles in the far right. He's eating some pizza with his family.
Apparently, you don't have my camera. It's not hyping out.
Yeah, it's probably because
That's weird.
It's on your XSplit, right? Or do you have XSplit running?
I have XSplit running, but I'm not actually. I've not started it yet. But that's fine. We'll just leave it like that, so there's no problems.
That's fine. I mean, you're at Chuck E. Cheese or whatever. It's cool. You can start. All right, guys. So this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about all the preview cards. We're not going to, all the spoiled cards. We're not going to get in super depth into a lot of them because there's probably going to be a lot of changes and stuff like that. But we're going to talk about those, and then we're going to maybe try to get some games in. I think we might have some cool ways we can play maybe 1 or 2 matches. Probably Tad a King of the Hill Tad or something like that. Same here. They really make a case for Turbo with how annoying that was. What? So cool, guys. Like always, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to ask us in the chat on the... I always comment on the right. And we'll answer you, referring to the commercials on Twitch. Yeah, those are annoying. Ad blocker for the win. Alright, so let's get started. Let's jump right into it. Actually, before we get into it, Sean, John, Charles, do you guys have anything to say? Anything to talk about?
Nothing I can think of.
Cool. Always
explain.
Also, keep in mind, guys, that is alpha. So all these cards could change. So remember that. Don't get too butthurt if something gets changed in the next couple weeks, because it will probably happen. All right, there we go. Switching over to the cards. The cards. Here they are. Starting off with the Sapphire shard. It's probably the best card. Alright, so Argus. Real quick, he did change. So that's something that I don't think a lot of people have noticed, but Argus has changed. He no longer taps to deal 5 damage, and instead, he's a 5/5 flyer that still has the tap to void target card. What do you guys think about that change?
I mean, I think it's fine. Like, he was really powerful otherwise. And, it just kind of makes it so that you actually have to, like, attack with them to still win the game. You can't just, sit there with an 0-5 and just be like, tap, deal 5, and your opponent can't actually, like interact at all with you.
Well, I mean, but, I agree, but I think, it's a 12 cost creature.
Yeah, I mean, it costs 100, which is fine, and, like, it's just...
It's 100.
Like, I feel like it's more fair to just have to actually attack with it to do damage. But still, just tapping to, like, vindicate anything is already, very good.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, me personally, I liked it better with tap 5. But, we didn't get to test it that much like that, so apparently Cryptozoic knows something we don't. And you're probably right. The effect is actually really powerful, which is why I liked it. Tap 5, when you have 20 life, that's a big deal. That's a quarter of your life every time. Sean, Charles, any suggestions or any comments about this card before we move on?
I mean, I kind of like it better, but at the same time, yeah, it's just like John was saying, cost 100, and so that makes it really difficult to deal with justifying it, putting it in a deck for me. I mean, it's nice to have that 5/5 body that actually can block something and kill it, compared to the 0-5, that's basically a wall. I mean, you probably won't want to block with it anyways, because then your opponent, you give your opponent a chance to possibly burn it out anyways. So, yeah, I mean, I like it better, but at the same time, it's a 5/5 for 12.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It actually feels like they changed it so people would actually look at it as a creature. Because before, like, whenever I first looked at this card, I didn't even actually realize it was a creature for, like, the longest time. I just saw the abilities. I'm like, cool, this thing will just sits on the battlefield and, like, crush people. And I was like, wait, it has a power and toughness. It's actually a creature. So now it actually has to, like, attack and, like, into the red zone and actually act like a creature.
Sure.
Instead of just, like, vindicate on a stick.
Oh my god. I don't know what's up with this 5 people on show would be a lot, but you guys are big noobs. Okay, so we're not going to talk about Salt Bot or Axe Bot. They don't matter. Bottled, whatever the shit that is, that doesn't matter. We're not going to talk about it. Chaos Key didn't change. Let's talk a little bit about Chaos Key, because I've seen a lot of people on streams just be like, this card's garbage. And it is not. Like, I'm just going to say that right out. It is actually very good. It's a catch-all, very, very good. John, why don't you talk a little bit about catch-alls and what they do?
Well, Chaos Key is I feel like this card is really good, and I think right now it's really being overlooked. There's very, very few ways in the game to kill, artifacts and constants, and also even creatures, troops. There's still very little ways to do that outside of murder, a few other cards. But Chaos Key is a catch-all. Like, it can kill anything. I understand it costs 5 to do it, but
It's pretty slow.
Yeah, but in a slower control deck, like, I'd certainly always want to probably play 1. But I think it's a good card. Yeah, I think more people should probably be playing it. But
I agree 100%. I think the card's awesome. This is also another. Some people have been talking about this too. This is one of the few basic activations off of a card, which means that when you activate it, it acts like a sorcery, which is a couple cards have that. So some people were talking about that all the effects are always instant. That's not true, because this is a prime example of one that is a sorcery speed. So,
I mean, I'll say that like the Fist of Brigadon or whatever, this card comes to mind immediately when I look at this Chaos Key. It's like, this is one of the very few cards that can actually answer that guy.
and that guy's a boss too. I mean, like
he is.
He's going to win some games. I'm not sure how he's working in Alpha right now. I don't know if he's playable or how he works, but that guy's insane. What's up, Booty?
Yeah.
What's up,
Like,
Bob?
this is a card that will sit in my sideboards probably for the longest time, just because it's an answer to anything.
No, it's a good card.
Yeah,
Good card.
certainly.
Yeah, so Charge Bot, we've talked about him a lot. Good card. Command Tower. I'm not going to talk too much about Command Tower. Construction Plans, Warhawk. This guy, I'm not going to talk much about him. Cosmic Totem, Dwarven Armory. Let's see. Nothing really good. Go ahead.
I find it hilarious that Cosmic Totem actually shuffles target player's graveyard into target player's deck.
Yeah.
Shuffle your graveyard
actually-
into your opponent's desk.
I actually didn't even notice that at first.
You think that's actually how it's going to work?
I mean,
No, it shouldn't work that way.
it shouldn't, but that's how it reads right now.
Well, that's a true oversight. I actually didn't notice that either, because.
And I noticed also, like, I was watching a lot of streams, people talking about this card, and it seemed like nobody actually knew, like, one of the biggest reasons why this card exists right now. And it counters, like, Reanimator strategies. Like, that's one of the biggest reasons why this card just needs to exist.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. It counters Reanimator. It's a way to stop you from being milled out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean there is some for sure. Like you said, when cards like this get spoiled, it's usually to combat Reanimator. I mean that's the number one reason. Cards like
definitely.
Elixir of Immortality are more towards
Right.
kill, but
Yeah, it could have easily have been an Elixir of Immortality, which is another card which I played a lot, especially when there was Trinket Mage in rotation. Because Trinket Mage basically made your deck. You didn't run out of cards because they would kill your Trinket Mage to be in the graveyard, then you play your Elixir of Immortality and shuffle all the Elixir plus all those Trinket Mages back in. Never run out of cards.
yeah. Let's see, Dwarven Armory. That's bad. Dwarven Turbine hasn't changed any. It's still going to be pretty good in the old Volcano strategies. Let's see, this is 3-drop 2/2 with Stockable Miner, whatever. What do you guys think about Eternal Guardian? I know we haven't got talked about him too much. What do you think about this guy?
I think he's an 8-drop.
he's not competitive, but
he's very hard to
casual.
cast.
Yeah, he'll be fun and casual. Someone was talking to me the other day. They were like, it'd be really awesome if I had this guy in play and then I cast another one and then I just sit there and don't attack my opponent and make them draw out. And I was like, that's what you want to do. That sounds like annoying, but not like competitive. And they're like, oh, yeah, not competitive. I just want to be annoying. And I was like, well, if that's what you want to do, then yeah.
It's a sweet bomb and sealed, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
The old 8-drop 5/5 flight. Cool. All right, Experimental Warhawk. Not going to talk about. Also, some people's been asking. There are some cards left out of here because these are only the cards available in Alpha currently. So sorry. Goblin Cooking Pot, whatever. Heavy Welding Bot. We talked a little bit about Heavy Welding Bot. What do you think about him, John? I know you have some good combos or some good. Well, I'm not gonna say combos, but some good interactions with Heavy Welding Bot.
He's another card that'll probably get better once we get all the cards, but the ability to bring back charge bots and sappers charges and whatever it is that you're playing, I think it's pretty good. Once we get Gearsmith and a few other cards that might make us cost less.
Sure.
So
Yeah, 6 is pretty expensive. Was he always 6 or was he 5 at Gen
He's
Con?
always been 6,
always been
yeah.
6?
And
Yeah,
I
he's always
considered
6.
putting him in a dwarf deck that I threw together, but he just didn't make the cut for me
All right, Hex
because of
Engine.
that cost.
I think we talked about the art maybe have changed a little bit in Hex Engine, but other than that, it stayed pretty much the same. Induction coil, whatever. Infiltrator Bot is one of these cards that I don't like. There's a couple cards like that was spoiled, but this 5-drop 3/2. I guess I'm not quite understanding where they're going with this kind of stuff. Like, what do you guys think about the old Infiltration Bot and this like really high mana cost for kind of this low impact card? I don't quite understand. Any thoughts?
I'll just start off by saying, typically, like when it is that I see artifact creatures, and I think Wizards does this right too. What will happen is it'll just be overcosted because it can be played in any deck, and so it's easier
Sure.
to pick up and draft. And so it's a nice card for that. But obviously, when we're talking about constructed play, you're not going to see a lot of things where it is you're getting a 4/4 for 6 or something, because something that's on color is going to be better. But when you got a 4/4, 4/4s at the end of the day is a body when you're drafting. So. I mean, that's a lot of things. This is a filler type of card for draft more than it is for constructed play, if anything.
Cool.
And it cannot be blocked is nice, too. I mean, that's a nice addition.
Sure, you have to pay 1 for it, though.
Yeah.
All right, so Ivory Pawn, gain 1 health, no one cares. Malfunctioning Warbot. What? I like the old. Let's talk about the Pterodactyl a little bit. I know, John, this is another card that you've been talking a lot about in your decks and your brews. What do you think about the old Pterodactyl?
I think he's awesome. Like I really like him.
Yeah,
I played
he's really
against
good with,
him earlier today, and I was a little bit scared, and then the game crashed. Also, the game's been crashing around turn 5 and 7, so when we play it later tonight, it's probably going to crash.
Yeah, I'm pretty prepared for that. So
I mean, it's alpha. Like we talked about a lot. It's going to happen. Sapphire Charge, which I think is one of the coolest cards. Now. I think this card's good in a lot of different decks.
You want to talk about my misplay earlier with Sapphire's Charge?
No, I don't want to relive that horrible experience.
Oh, man. It was so bad.
But, Sapphire Charge, awesome card. I think it's going to be one of the MVPs of a lot of decks, and it's going to be able to fit in a lot of stuff. I mean, it's like what you want from an artifact card, It's it's like an overcosted burn. What do you guys think of Sapphire Charge? John?
I like it. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all.
Cool. Good input. All right, so Secret...
I mean, it's a shock. Like, what can you say about a shock? Like, it's Seal of Fire. Like, it comes into play, it sits there, and it does 2 damage when you need it to. Like, it's
It's
a good card.
Any deck.
Constant threat on the board.
How about the Secret Laboratory? The old 3-drop draw a card, then just discard a card for 1.
I like it too.
Get to your combo piece. I mean, if there is a combo that's out there, it's not bad. Do it at the end of the turn. I like that too.
Sure. At the end of the turn, draw 1, discard 1. All right.
Yep.
See, nothing else. Kind of Fate Rack, blah blah. Volcannon. John, what you talk about the changes to Volcannon?
Well, now it just works with robots. So, there's not too many. What? Sorry.
It works with a dwarf or robot, right?
Yeah, dwarf or robot, yes. So there are a few artifact creatures that can't be used with it anymore. The main one, in my opinion, is Turreted Wall. So you can't use Turreted Wall anymore because it's not a actual robot.
Which makes sense that a giant turreted wall won't untap your cannon.
Like, I absolutely 100% agree. But, that's just how it is now. So.
Okay. So it is a little bit worse, but I think it's still going to be very good. And those type of decks. Workabot Factory, Turreted Wall. I'm not going to talk too much about those. So moving on to Blood. Before we even get any further in this, what do you guys think of Blood as a shard so far? Because I know before this started, I was super excited for Blood. Moving forward, I think Blood's probably the worst color. I don't know if you guys agree.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to agree with John as Diamond being the worst color.
Okay.
But blood is the control color of choice right now over Sapphire. Really, I mean, it's got a lot of removal. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, it's a 1-for-1 a lot of times. It has some card draw.
Sure. Sean, what do you think about Blood?
The few cards it has are extremely good. Like Murder and Extinction are some of the premier removal that we have. Sure. But the other cards after that, Vampire. We need to see Vampire King. Like they haven't really shown that one, but Like the few cards it has are amazing, but there's not a lot of not a lot of good support cards around it. It feels like.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it sucks losing like Vampire King and Zombie Plague, and a lot of those really fun like interactive cards that could or could not be good. They don't have the Blitter Blossom card out yet either to play around with that. There's a lot of cards that are missing from Alpha, which is fine. But I think even with those cards, after seeing what some of these other shards has, the Blood's just like I think the worst. I maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I think it's very, very bad.
Well, again, we can't really fully judge it until we get the full set. But I guess, given what we have currently available, that it's not that great. But that's still, Murder is good. Extinction is really good.
It's a good support color for a control deck.
I guess I'm not saying it's like terrible. Like there's no good cards in it. I mean, obviously there's a good cards in it. I mean, it's a shard. I would hope they don't like miss every card. You know what I mean? Like make every card terrible. But I also feel like that it has the same variety as the other shards do. Okay, we'll start off with these cards. We got see, none of these cards here have really changed.
Blood Aura has. It got a lot worse.
Oh, did it? Did it change? Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it did. Target troop gets permanent +1/+0, and if a troop dealt damage on this troop, this turn would die.
It's so
Void
bad.
it instead. What was it before? Do we know what it was before?
I think it was +1/+0, and the creature can't be blocked. It gives it fear, basically.
Oh, okay. No, that's pretty good. I mean, that's good, but it's neat. Yeah, this sucks, obviously. I'm not really sure what you'd use this for. You know what I mean? Because I guess it is a quick action, so maybe you can like trick something in the void. I don't know. It's terrible. I'm trying to find something cool to do with it. No, it's just bad. All right, moving forward.
No.
Blood Cauldron Ritualist got this cool new update on the art, which I think is really neat.
This art is amazing. Yeah. I love this art.
I mean, Blood has some of the coolest art, so maybe maybe try to balance it by giving it the coolest art, but like the shittiest cards. Let's see. We talked about Karanews. That card's bad. Blood Brood Creeper. That hasn't really changed. Call of the Mountain God. I feel like this card just keep changing, but it's. What do you guys think about Corrupted Afterlife? I've heard about a bunch of people talking about how this card's OP, and I just would love to hear one of you just like actually talk about it. John.
Transform up to the target.
So, John, what do you think of Corrupted Afterlife?
I mean, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean,
like it's not very constructed playable, I don't think, but like it's probably pretty good and limited.
Yeah, since there's gonna be tons of troops dying, so it's gonna have targets.
Sure. Oh, okay. So Shad said that they changed Call to the Grave, put target troop. Yeah, sure.
It's in a graveyard now.
Yeah, sure. That's cool. Like it's neat.
Oh wow,
And the zombies are 2/2s.
Yeah, zombies are 2/2s. Cool. All right, Determined Zombie. He's trying, bub. 2/1.
I do like making bears at 6 mana.
Pinted Demolisher. This guy is really neat. I was really want to talk about him. I'm really curious what your guys' thought is, but he's a 5-drop 3/3 that says when this troop enters play, you may void all resources from your deck. That's the first time we've seen that kind of effect, I think, right? I don't know if there's an effect like that in Magic or not, but I think it's the first time you can just play a creature and then like take all your resources away.
I think it's like Mana Severance.
Magic.
Mana
Severance.
Does it do the same thing? I mean,
it's not a creature though. It's just it's a 2-cost blue spell, I think.
Mm.
I mean that can be a powerful effect, right? Like it's
right because it's going to deck thin you.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, especially right now because we don't have like Rampant Growth doesn't work like Rampant Growth. We've got Chlorophilia, which is going to just up your numbers. It's not going to actually deck thin you. So something like this is very interesting to see, especially in color like blood, or a shard like blood.
Yeah.
What do you think, John?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much exactly my thoughts on it too. So.
Cool. All right. So the big thing is Extinction got knocked down to 4 cost, which we talked about a lot whenever they spoiled Extinction, and we talked about how it really needs to not be 5. That 4 is okay, and I'm glad. I'm not gonna say they listened to us. Like they were like, oh, better do what those HexTcgPro guys said. But I mean, like that
they should though.
They really should. You're right. They really should.
Just to be honest.
But that was one of the big suggestions we had, and I'm glad that they went through and did that because it's actually it's a lot better now. And I think 4-drop board wipes aren't bad, especially in black because that fucking sucks.
I mean, that's what it should be at. Like,
I agree.
That's what every board wipe is, basically.
No, I agree. very good. See, none of these cards
All the
have
good ones.
changed too much. None of these are really worth talking about. Mission Slave. There's all Malice Demon. 7-drop, 8/8 Flight Crush, like this guy. Did you want to talk about something up here, Sean?
I've never seen that card.
Which
The
one?
Slave.
Oh, the Slave.
Yeah, I didn't notice it.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It costs like 6 or something. But...
Oh wow. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, so like the reason why this card's bad to let people know, I mean, it costs 6 to remove all the eggs, and it's just, I don't know, very terrible. I think they're a bunch of what, like 1/2s or something. Like they're not even. I'm not sure what they are. We'll see, but I don't think they're very. Maybe 3/2s or something. I don't know.
I can just see a hilarious blowout where you activate it and then in response someone just burns it.
Nah, that will never happen. So it's probably really playable.
Oh, and no, you have to do it before hit the 6 mana. Never mind.
Yeah,
but still.
I mean, you're right. Like,
Yeah.
So Malice Demon's pretty good. 7-drop, 8/8 Flight Crush. I like those kind of cards.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Not really much to talk about him. I mean, he's a 7-drop, 8/8 with Flight and Crush, but he's very cool.
Seems like a good finisher.
Oh yeah, for sure. Good finisher. Get him out. Poop on some kids. Necessary Sacrifice still good. Murder hasn't changed.
Misfortune.
5-drop, deal 2 damage. Oh yeah, this is the 5-drop Blightning.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, it feels like Lightning to me.
5-drop lightning. Yep.
Yeah, which I don't understand. Like, I don't think Blightning was OP, was it? I mean, I didn't really.
Well, it was in 2 colors. That's
sure.
the difference.
I mean, you're right. So make it. Well, I guess they
But
don't have any.
It was still really
it did
strong
3
and strong.
damage. This thing only does 2. It should deal maybe the 1 more point of damage.
Yeah, I think knocking this down to 3 resources isn't going to kill it. I don't think it's going to
No.
make it OP or anything.
Nah.
Thanks, Sean. Back to Pain. The old 3-drop. It hasn't changed at all either. I still like this. I think it's good. I still wonder if all the colors are going to get packs. Because like
I think they do.
Because we talked about like Blood has them and then Wild has them, but that's the only ones I know of. Rockcaster. When this troop enters play, destroy target troop with cost 3 or less.
It's Zarlox or whatever.
Yeah, they remade it, right? Is that what they did?
Yeah.
Yeah, they changed it. Yeah. Nothing else really to talk about with there. Transfer hasn't changed. Oh yeah, Retro Brood's an alpha. I didn't think it was, but I guess it is. William Banshee, she's pretty cool.
Tormented Soul.
Xenolf's
little
Chosen's
worse.
still a boss over here. Not caring.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so here's the card. Here's the card I want to talk about because
As
I
always.
saw this card on stream.
What,
And-
Zental's Chosen? Yeah, we need to talk about that more.
Okay, we'll talk about him in a second. but this 5-drop 3/1 flight, like, because I don't understand why it was made. Like, why they needed a 5-drop 3/1 flight. Like, I don't get it. Like, it just seems
Yeah,
like
the back end should be a little bit better. It should be a 3/3 for that.
yeah. Like,
It
go ahead, John. John, go ahead. All right. Thanks for the input, bub. Yeah, I know whenever Colin cast this one on stream, like he actually didn't. He thought it was like an unfinished card. Like he was like, this can't be what it does, but I'll play it anyway. And like Corey's just like, yeah, that's what it is. 5-drop 3/1. Like.
In fact, that 5-drop 3/1 is in the match that I'm playing against the AI right now. I'm about to burn its face in.
Awesome.
I feel like it's a card for draft whenever your draft just didn't get there and you need, like, a creature. And there it is.
Alright, looks like John knocked out a call.
Well, I thought you were just stunned by the
by the
terribleness
by
of this card.
the raw power of the card. I'm about to probably
The raw power.
yeah, probably end call and just call you guys right back. Sorry about that, guys. Not sure what happened.
Yeah, I just lost you, but I got you
Yeah,
back.
sorry about that, guys. I'm not sure what happened there.
That's okay. Anyway, so you were talking about Zombie Vulture and it's this extreme raw power, and
Right, like it's not very good as you know what I was implying, of course, and it's 5-cost 3/1 flight is not very good for constructed, and it's probably maybe playable and limited, but probably not.
so why do they make cards like this? Like, is there a reason? Is there like a something?
Well, I mean, there has to be bad cards.
There
I mean,
has to
they
be
just,
bad cards.
No,
they
I
just
mean-
have to exist.
I agree that there has to be bad cards, but a 5-drop 3/1, like I don't.
I've
I
seen
mean,
worse.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
It
I've certainly
flies.
seen.
It
seen
flies,
worse.
and it's a 3/1. It's okay in draft. I've seen a lot worse than this.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
That is relative. All right. So moving on into white, which is John's favorite color.
It's no Chosen, I'll say that.
So the Diamond Shore. What do you think about Diamond, guys? What is our overall
I don't like it. I don't think it's very good.
I don't think it is either. I think it's next to war. Like it's the they're almost in order to like worst to best almost in this. So yeah, Diamond's not very good. There's not very much to even talk about here. Like all the cards are the same. Is there anything different that we really need to talk about here? Like Chimera Guard Outrider is still a boss. Like
we got something. There was like
yeah, I'm sure we got something.
There was a 2/3 human that was pretty good or something.
Here's a big card that people are talking about. Frost Wizard.
Frost Wizard's really good.
Yeah, what do you got to say about this 4-drop 4/3? That's when this troop attacks, choose target troop you control. The next time that troop would be dealt damage, this game prevent it. Like, what do you think? I'm not sure about that effect. Like, I've never really played with it, so I can't comment too much about it. But what are you guys thinking?
Seems pretty good.
I don't really like it.
It's not crazy good. It's a 4/3 though. I mean, it's a nice body and it has a decent effect.
Yeah, I mean, it might be okay in the Inspired deck. I mean, like if he can get like Inspired, maybe like enough times. But overall though, I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't like troops like this that have to like attack to get any kind of effect. Like I very much prefer like comes into play abilities.
Sure, makes sense. I mean, that way you're guaranteed to get at least your cost out of it. You're going to get something happen. Sure, makes sense. All right, 5-drop Forgotten Lords, Steadfast Spell Shield, 3/4, whatever. You'll be easily forgotten. All right, moving on. Heroic Inspiration. Target blocking troop gets +8/+8. Like that card just kills me. Infusion of Diamond has like this weird looking horse on it. Inner Conflict is still good. One of the better removals too, which is actually pretty ironic. That's going. There's Charles Totem.
Love it.
What do you think about this 01 Invincible card? Like, like
useless.
Whoa, useless.
There's no equipment or anything to throw on it. It's really going to be difficult to pump, and I mean, it's unique as well.
I mean, there's Blood Aura.
I mean, I can inspire it like with something, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Inspire. There we go. We broke it. I think it needs banned very quickly. All right, Lorgorl, no one cares. Miss Noble Citizens. Oh, here was all Phoenix Guard Aeronaut nerf. Like, what in the hell? I mean, that card's super powerful. Like, we know that, but like, good lord in heaven, like they just
took its toughness down by 1.
And like took its entire effect away, right?
Yeah, it was a 3/4. I'm not sure where it is now. What is the 3/3 now?
It's a 3/3 now, and its attack and block thing is gone.
Right.
I mean,
now
that's going to be really complex
keywords
to script something like that, I would think, and so that might be the reasoning behind that change.
You think it was scripting? I think it was just like maybe too powerful. Maybe the effect itself was too powerful. I don't know. Like, but I would hate to see. I don't think they would not make a card due to scripting in alpha. Right? Like they probably just like fix it.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like they've probably changed a few cards due to scripting.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
looking at some of the design notes on these cards, I would say so. Yes.
I mean, you're right. I mean, like I agree that they're not. I'm not saying they don't have trouble scripting, but I'm saying like, do you think already right now, like in alpha, like is the right time to be like, we just cannot do this? I think they at least wait till like beta or something, and they'd be like, okay, we still can't fix it. Now we can change it. I don't know. It just seems like.
I mean, they can always change it back later. I mean, right now, let's get the nice looking card. We got the art, and then we can balance it and maybe put it back to the way it was later.
Yeah.
Or at least make another card. Like give another card that ability.
Right.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the better. Okay, so Clergyman. There's Charles, this guy. So Resurrection, I know, like Johnny said, that Resurrection's effect is usually pretty powerful.
Yeah, I mean, like effects like that are typically powerful, but it is only your graveyard, so I mean, it makes it a lot less powerful.
It's a very Timmy card.
It feels like Debtor's Nail to me.
Yeah, like it's very Debtor's Nail-ish, but like it's only your graveyard, so it makes it considerably worse.
Yeah, so why were cards like this good in like Magic? Like, why were they pretty strong?
Well, something.
They're just very powerful. You know, they're very hard to deal with because they're enchantments, and they're just very game breaking.
I mean, this kind of reminds me of like Living End, which is ridiculously better, obviously. In Modern, you had the Living End deck where you would purposefully put creatures in your graveyard, and Living End says exile all the creatures from all the graveyards, then exile all the creatures from play, and then have them switch positions. So everything is that your opponent is committed to the board state is gone and now in their graveyard, and your graveyard is in play. And the creatures you're throwing into your graveyard are like cantrip effects and things that get you lands and stuff. And so it would just put you pretty decently far ahead. And Living End itself only costs 3 to cast. So you would use a card that would look through your deck for something that costs less than itself. I forget what the effect was. A lot like a blood. What was it? Like Blood Braid Elf, something like that. And it would go and it would find Living End, and you would play it. That wasn't the card they used in that deck, but you get the idea.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on, Reversion's pretty cool. That's like one of the only effects we've seen of that. So that's gonna be interesting. I'm sure that's gonna be a pretty good sideboard card, or you're gonna get some use out of that card. Like it's a good effect. Righteous Paladin's still a boss. I mean, we saw Corey use it on stream. Yeah, it was good. Like it was good at Gen Con. It's good now. Yeah, it's only going to get better.
Johnny's Pride Mate for the win.
I will say, if anything can make Ivory Pawn playable, it would be this creature.
I mean, you're right. Ivy Pawns. Yeah, there you go. See, we're already breaking it. Let's pop with the pros. All right, so nothing else to really talk about here. There's the old Wind Whisperer. It sucks that all those like Coyote guys are all bad. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Okay,
they are the worst.
they are
Yeah,
the
like all the Kytles are bad except for like Howling Brave.
I keep seeing them in games though, online.
I mean,
not surprised.
People play bad cards, man.
I mean, I see Howling Brave a lot, but that's the only one I've really seen.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on to Ruby here. I think Ruby's very strong overall, right? So Alpha, I'd say it's one of the stronger colors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We'll go ahead and talk about Ash Harpy, because I've seen a lot of people on streams playing this card, and I think it's terrible. Me personally, I think it's really, really bad. What do you think? What do you guys think?
Like, I am in that same boat as you. Like, I actually have had like a couple different conversations with people in various streams talking about this card. Like Crone, for example, was playing I think 4 of them in one of his decks, and I was talking with some. Yeah, I was talking with some of the people in the chat, about how they felt like about the card, and many of them thought it was kind of like a late game bomb. Well, in my opinion, the card is actually barely playable, and the reason for that is that you have to look at the resource. The cost and investment to it is much more than just 5 resources. It's 5 resources and several turns to actually make it do anything.
Oh, you're right.
And that is like not what I want out of my 5 drops. Now I understand that it's alpha and maybe that's one of the best options, but like I would rather play almost anything else than Ash Harpy, like Chaos Key. Like I'd rather play that than at Ash Harpy. There's so many cards that I would rather play than just the Harpy. Like I don't like it, and I just
You're not going to make me like it, all right?
like I can talk for half hour about how bad Ash Harpy is and cite perfect examples of why it's bad. But like if you're behind at all in the game, it is the worst draw you could possibly have.
Well, because like we talked about just like a little bit of a couple cards up, like you want your cards to come into play and do something, right? Well, this card comes into play and does nothing. Worse is you can't even like block it. Like you can block, but you can't trade with it. You know what I mean? Like you can't even do that. Like you can't even kill a creature. Like it has to attack to even be able to do anything. Like it's a terrible card. I think it's like god awful. I don't understand why people play it. And I've even seen people in streams draw it and like cheer. Like they'll draw it and be like, "Got there, Ash Harpy," and they play it, and guess what? They never get there, and they never blame Ash Harpy. It's always something else, But like it's
one of those cards. Like if it's maybe a kind of close game or you're ahead like a little bit, and you slam Ash Harpy and start like attacking with it, people just assume that the card's awesome because you attack for 4 and then you attack for 8. Like that's really cool. But if Ash Harpy like attacks twice, then you're already ahead in the game and you're gonna win anyway. Like it's just one of those cards that is a win more card, and it's now look. I don't want to say that it's not going to be good in X example or Y scenario, because there will be times where a card like that might be good. But the vast majority of the time, the card is not going to be very good.
The problem is, like, its best case scenario is really good, but its average or worst case scenario are completely miserable. You like never ever want to have the card in like average or worst case scenario. It does absolutely nothing.
And more often, that is the problem. That's what's going to happen.
I mean, it's probably a bomb if you're building the Tit deck.
Well, what deck is this going to go in? It's going to go in some sort of mono ruby deck as like a one of at the top of your range, and there are better things for 5 that you could drop in a constructed format.
Well, like if you're making a mono red deck, Zoltog for 4 is better than this.
Zoltog for 4 is way. That's what I'm saying. That this is a card I would draft maybe if I was in Ruby, but again, I have to be heavy in Ruby because it's got the double cost. And even then, it's kind of one of those things where I don't know. I would feel
mono titty
very
deck,
iffy about it.
No, if you're
iffy.
If you're trying to put the tits in your deck, I mean, she's for sure a prom pick.
She's gonna do it for you.
Yeah. All right. So moving on, go through these cards real quick. I like Baby Eddie. I think he's the coolest. He's a
Baby Yeti is Raging Goblin.
Oh, Raging Goblin.
Which is one of my
Goblin.
old favorites from when I was old, so young playing Magic, and just I was like, yeah, I got you on turn 1. You didn't even play a resource yet. Got you for 1.
Build it. I will do a deck tech.
I technically won my first Hex game here.
Really nice. That's really good.
That's
that you're playing Hex while we're doing a stream about cards. It's really good.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
Yep.
what I'm doing.
Very professional.
That's what we are. We're HexTcgPro, duh.
So if someone wants to build a 5 shard tit deck, I'll play it. We need to perfect it. I think Avalanche Giant might have tits.
Deck?
Yeah, might have big enough tits to count. What do you guys think about Burn to the Ground? What do you think about this card? I think the art on it's fucking sick. I will say that.
I talked about this before when I was doing some deck building, and it's one of those cards where I'll put it into a ramp deck, but the other card is better if you're in mono Ruby. So I mean, it's going to be okay because you just have to meet the threshold requirements, and you're getting the total value of it. Or are you not now? Because it's 1 in X. Did they change it?
Yeah.
Oh, they changed it, so it's just like Magic. Okay, see, it used to be just X, so you made every point on it. Now it's 1 in X, so you're actually coming out behind by 1.
Yeah, I think it's still pretty good, right?
Still pretty good. I mean, an effect like this, I still a 2 of or a 1 of in your ramp deck, and then you can come out of nowhere and deal 12 points of damage to the face.
I mean, the problem with this card is Rage Fire is probably just better.
Rage Fire is better,
Right, like
and
you might as well
just
just use Rage Fire because it's actually going to get bigger faster than this card will.
Right.
I mean, like,
and it's instant speed, and this is basic action, and that's another big
Rage
negative.
Fire is sorcery too, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, Rage Fire sorcery.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
Rage
of the
Fire
other one. I keep thinking of what's the other one that it's for every ruby shard.
I don't know. Ask Tata. He's playing. He'll be able to tell you. All right, so-
card is it?
I have it in one of my. I'll look it
Ruby
up.
Lance.
Ruby Lance. Yeah, Ruby Lance is better
Yeah,
for mono Ruby for sure. If you're gonna
My favorite
play
card now.
something.
this card's really good.
Oh, Ruby Lance. How about Cerebral Fulmination? That's a card we talked a lot about when it first came out, but then we just no one's talked about it anymore. You think it's worth
Same
it?
as it ever was.
Same as
Well, a lot of the cards that might make it good aren't in game yet. So
Right.
plus
I mean,
they changed the way a lot of cards work. So
the big negative one for me with this one is, okay, we're both going to draw cards, but you're going to draw the first card off of my effect.
Yeah,
That
but I mean,
sucks.
Green's the only one that has a way to deal with it, so it's not like that's
That's fine, but I mean, now we're both drawing cards, and so it's another one of those things when we talked about it the first time where we said, yeah, you feel like you're ahead, but you're not really that far ahead. It's kind of what do you call it? It's a false something or other. I forgot what. I think Dusty said something about it. The other Dusty.
I really like this card. Like, if I want to play a mono red deck and I'm running out of gas, this is a great thing to actually get me to the end of the game.
Oh yeah.
Because mono red decks will hit 5. You'll get them to 5 life, and you just run out of gas, and they stabilize. This will actually keep putting cards in your hand to actually just finish them off, and you're going to be able to actually take advantage of the cards you're drawing more than your opponent will.
I agree.
I think that is the biggest thing about
How
it.
many would you run in a mono red deck? Would you run 4, 3, what?
2 or 3. I'd say 3 tops.
yeah, 3 sounds
Yeah.
good.
Probably 3 would be the good number for it.
All right, Craze Rummaging. I like this card actually. I think it's really cool. It'd be good if Reanimator ever becomes a thing. It's a good way to get shit in the card in the graveyard. You just hope it's the cards you want it to be. Still
Or-
pretty neat.
You can also randomly just shit on your opponent.
I know, right?
Draw
Lord-
3. Good luck.
Lord knows I love random, so I just love this card so much. It's my favorite. All right, so Crimson.
You can force other people to do random stuff.
And they'll draw the 3 sweetest cards, and I'll draw the 3 shittiest cards.
And they discard all 3 of them.
Yeah. All right. No, that's not what's going to happen. Crimson Clarity. I mean, this is pretty much Black Lotus right here. I mean. So, as people realize this card's bad yet, are people still trying to play it?
I haven't seen anyone play it yet.
Okay, good.
It is terrible.
Good. All right, Demolition over here. This card's actually a little bit better than what we thought it was originally, right? Because we have that. We'll get to the card in a bit. The green, the blue unblockable guy with the resource destruction gem. That with this card is going to be pretty annoying to deal with. It's the ban. You're right. They already banned it.
Ban it.
Ban it. Emberspire Witch still pretty good. If that life gain deck ever gets any
First,
good.
yeah, Swift Strike, awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it does have Swift Strike, which he didn't use and got blown out, but it's okay. Fiendish Cabolthalus is actually pretty cool. It's bad, but it's pretty neat how it works. Like I watched somebody in stream last night play it, and it actually increases and decreases its power and toughness based on how many cards are in your opponent's hand. Like it doesn't, like if you play it out and it's like a 5/6, then like they play a card, it'll be like a 4/5. Like it keeps changing. It just doesn't stay that way when you play it. Ultra combo.
Ultra.
I thought that was a pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I mean, the same thing that makes it really cool also makes it completely unplayable.
Oh, I mean, no, it's terrible. It's I'm not trying to say throw it in your fucking deck. I'm just saying like. I thought it was cool that it.
Just gotta point that out.
Yeah.
Don't play this card.
Please don't play this card. Don't. You're gonna be like, Shaggy told me to do it on HexTcgPro. It's really neat. Shaggy did not. Okay, so Heat Wave. That's a card I can't wait to talk about because I think that card's bananas.
Yeah, I think it's really good too.
It sounded like you told me to play the card. Thanks.
Thanks, Justin. You're good.
Yeah, thanks, Justin. Please go run 4 of those. Yeah, Heat Wave. What do you guys think?
I love it. Like
It's
I mean,
awesome.
It's Pyroclasm.
Yeah, it's Pyroclasm. It's necessary. It needs to be here.
Yes.
Cool. Good feedback.
I'm playing it right now.
I mean, it's extremely good. Like, it'll shit on any Shinhair deck in the early game, or like mono red like aggro deck that's running out like the 2/1s and 2/2s, and you just play this down and like 3-for-1 them.
What's funny is like we'll just take this as an example. Right now on my screen, you can see 6 cards. Okay, 4 of them are creatures, and this kills 3 of them. One's a 5-drop, one's a 3-drop, one's a 2-drop. Like this card has a lot of targets. Like I don't think people have quite grasped that yet, but like literally 2 toughness is like the standard toughness on almost every creature.
Mm-hmm.
Like 3
Two
toughness.
bears.
Yeah, like 3 toughness makes you like pretty good. So like I mean 2 toughness is pretty common in this game, and this card hits like a lot of them. So Heat Wave plus Vampire King, exactly. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that will be good once we can actually play with the Vampire King.
Let's see, Impulums. No one cares. There's old Mancubus. Looking good. Look at him. We gotta put him in our tit deck, guys. Like I want to.
He's a one of, and he's definitely no. He's still a one of, and I have him in mine. In my
in your tit deck.
Yeah.
No, I think this guy's.
He's the other side of the tits.
You said imps are awesome. Impulums. When this troop enters play, destroy target opposing artifact. Sure. Neat. Legionnaire. He has
Manic
a
Vandal.
Dude, he was playing.
Awesome.
He was playing a lot.
As a sideboard.
Legionnaire actually went down from I believe
Or
he used to be
Batterskull.
2 threshold, and now he's 1.
Well, it wasn't
That's
just
awesome.
Batterskull. It was Batterskull, Birthing Pod, right? You gotta get that Birthing Pod out of there.
Sure.
So there you go. If Birthing Pod's in this game, I guess you'll play. I mean, he's pretty good against like Volcanon, right? And Argus.
Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta stop. Okay, Legionnaire of this guy, Big Tits, 2 axes, not giving a shit about nothing.
That's right.
still-
One of my favorites.
Hey, I can tell you kept a hand with 2 of him and all diamond resources.
It wasn't me.
Sure. Lord
Wasn't
Alexander
me.
still good. Mancubus good. Ragefire still insane. What's this?
Wasn't Alexander like a 2/2 at first? Like I know it got changed.
What? Ragefire?
He's a 3/3.
Or what?
Was he always a 3/3?
Who?
No, I think he might have been a 2/2 or 2/3 maybe, but now he's a 3/3. He's talking about Lord Alexander.
I thought he was a 2/2 that had haste himself and had the
Yeah.
Inspire to give haste.
Yeah, now he doesn't have haste himself anymore, and he's a 3/3.
Okay.
Alright.
Which I
He's
think
pretty
it's
good.
fine. Because
Ruby,
he actually can, like, he has 3 toughness now.
yeah, Ruby Aura. There it is. The old +1 in Swift Strike.
Probably the best aura there is.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. It's really good aura. You should definitely attack into it as well.
I mean, and it goes really good with the card right beside it right there. Like, Raging Trash, just put it right on him, and it will never die.
Put it right on him. Sure, you're right. Shaggy said play it. Oh my god, here we go. Ruby
4
Lands. You have to have 6 of them. Find a way. Hack it. John, how's your games of Hex going, man?
I mean, I'm
He's
you know
playing this,
losing
like,
to the the game freezing, but like
Good.
other than that,
That's great. I hope it's going better than your commentary on these cards. All right.
I mean, I've talked about these cards so many times.
Sure.
It's let's see.
Let's see.
Let me go over to your stream real quick and just talk about a few here because my games keep freezing.
Hold on. So
Which one's you on?
You pick one. Pick one out of these 6 and just let's talk about it.
Well, none of those are worth talking about.
You have to talk. I didn't say there was one. You have to pick one. Pick one, but let's talk about it. How about Suppressing Fire? Let's talk about how good this card is. 2-drop up to 2 target troops can't block this turn. What do you think about it? What's some good uses we could use for Suppressing Fire?
I can't really think of anything. I mean, this card is probably going to be good and limited because there's a Magic card that was very similar to that actually saw quite a bit of play in very fast, like draft decks.
Okay.
I think it was called Nightbird's Clutches, and it was pretty good. So I can see really fast decks and draft play this card, but as far as standard goes or like constructed, it's not.
Sure. I think it's a really good card to discard and draw another card from. All right. Total Meltdown. That's a card you've been wanting to talk about a little bit. You talked about it in your article, right? About how.
Yeah, it's really annoying. I mean, it's a Shatter Storm, so I mean it's going to be very difficult to play around for the artifact decks. But it kind of forces you to play differently, which I don't think is a bad thing. Like I'm glad that the card actually exists.
Yeah, I mean, because like it's very clear that like there's going to be artifact decks, right? Like the artifacts are strong enough to be actually played. So a effect like this is pretty good. It's well costed. It's in the right color. I like it. I like the new Sword Trainer art too. By the way, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I like Sword Trainer art too.
It's like the Cosmic Totem. It just needs to exist. The card just needs to be here.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be a sideboard card. I wouldn't imagine you ever playing it like main board. But it's still good. Zoltog, still good. Nothing much to say about him.
Right.
So did they take Buccaneer out? Are we for sure they took him out because he quit working? Did they put him back in yet, or do we know?
I don't think he's back in yet.
I haven't seen him yet.
Oh, that's annoying. That's my boy right there.
The man.
That's what I look like if I was on a pirate ship. I'm just be shitting around.
Wait a minute, you're not on a pirate ship right now?
I mean, no, I like to usually cast from my pirate ship, but it doesn't have Wi-Fi, so it just doesn't work. Like I can't do the cast.
Oh, of course.
Sure.
You have to dock in. And,
yeah, exactly.
Of course.
So
Obviously.
yeah, I mean, that's pretty common
For obvious
pirate ship
reasons.
streaming. All right, so Chronic Madness, stuff like that. I'm not going to talk about it. Okay, here's a card. Well, I'm not going to talk about that card. It's bad. I'm not even going to try to act like that card's not bad. All right, Devoted Emissary.
Oh wait, we left off Cavern Commando. Hold on now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go back. Actually, this card, okay, the 3-drop 1/4 isn't terrible. Okay, there could be a time you'd play this card, right? What if Mono Ruby's
I don't know about that one.
What if Mono Ruby's really good, right? You play this guy out, 4 toughness blocker. What are you gonna do about that?
Lose, I guess.
That's
We're all dead.
It's the only explanation. You just lose.
Yes.
What else could you do? All right, Cloud Titan, 5-drop 4/4 flight. I don't think he's good enough. Everybody talks about how Cloud Titan's cool. Fuck him. I don't like him. He's weird looking. He has lightning coming out of his
He's a
eyes.
symbiont spirit. I mean,
It's another
okay.
limited card.
I don't like him. He's too vanilla for me.
It's air elemental. Like he's
Yeah.
a very good
Yeah.
limited card. He's not going to be played in constructed decks.
Yeah.
right.
I feel like if Hex had precons, like this would be like the foil card on the front that all the kids
Yeah,
are like,
it
oh
would
my
be.
god, Cloud Titan. But I don't think he's good enough. I don't like him. He's a noob.
So as an aside, my opponent here just played a Chaos Key on me, so I just want to high five him like through my screen.
Whoops, Locker.
Try to
Chaos.
high five him. I bet you it freezes the game.
Probably even using Chaos Key will like blow my mind and cause the game freeze.
Just fries your hard drive.
You should just play like 2 Infernos, then you'll be good.
All right, Devoted Emissary, the old 4-drop 4/3. What do you think about? I actually like this guy a lot. I think he's really neat. I think there's some pretty cool uses with them. I think playing Buccaneer and then next turn attacking with your Buccaneer and then bouncing it back to your hand is pretty neat. I'm not sure if it's going to be good enough yet, but it's definitely neat. We can also bounce our Cloud Titan too.
We could.
your monitor will hop up and explode. Cool. Here's the big boss man. I don't know why I want to name him yet. He's bald, so I almost want to call him Tata, but he's too good for me to call him Tata, so I don't know what I want to call him.
What card is it?
The Eldritch Dream, the old 4-drop 3/3 unblockable.
Oh yeah, that guy is
Eldritch
unreal.
Dream.
I'm gonna call it now. I'm gonna do it in chat too. This card won't make it through alpha.
Yeah.
I promise.
Yeah.
Like this card, the way it is, will not make it any further. Like it's
Looks
really
like
cool.
it's socketable and make it unblockable. Yeah, and a 3/3 body.
Yeah, like he's really good. Like obviously, and obviously the thing you should do with him is put the resource destruction gem on him, and laugh at your opponent as you're blowing stuff up.
I guess it will never have enough resources to do anything.
No, especially if you're using like Stone Rain too. Like it's going to be so annoying. And then
I
what's
mean,
even more annoying is you can start bouncing their creatures and like making it cost more, and eventually they just won't actually be able to pay the amount to play them again. Like I know it's very annoying, and for sure one of the first decks I'll build.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just really cool. That's the style I like to play anyway. Menacing Gulk. What do you think about this guy? 5-drop 2/2. What was that? I think he's cool.
Not a huge fan of him.
Yeah, he's not that great.
Oh, here comes Charles.
They changed the picture on him.
Really? Is that different?
Yeah, I think it was something else before.
I don't think they did.
I think he's cool.
I think he lost the power, I think.
Yeah, he needs to be like a 4 or something. He needs to have a better back end or a front end. One of the two.
I like him.
So,
I would play him over fucking Cloud Titan.
Yeah.
So just a side note here. My opponent is playing a mono blood deck, or it looks like black-white, and he played Fang of the Mountain God on turn 2, and then played Extinction on turn 4, and actually just blew me out because I overextended into his Fang of the Mountain God. So he's playing 1-drops and Extinction, and then he just played Claw of the Mountain God, which is the 5/4, and I'm probably just dead now. But
I didn't realize that you are playing against people from Four Horsemen. I didn't know.
Apparently.
well, it was very awkward, and it's I don't know, I don't know what to expect. I was 1 turn away from playing my 6-drop 7/7 Indestructible, and he's like, nah, Extinction.
Yeah, it sounds like you're bad. That's the only thing I can get out of
Yeah,
that.
I mean, it's pretty bad. Like,
Should've
if I don't
played
draw,
around it.
like, yeah, now I just draw a land. Alright, this is cool.
So, talking about Mesmerize, it's not very good. Mimic, what do we think about old Mimic? I know John Teta has a word too about this, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I mean, it's a clone effect that, like, in ways is better than Magic ones, but, like, I mean, at the same time, it's somewhat worse because the Magic one doesn't actually target, whereas this one does. But, I like it a lot. I think it'll see, quite a bit of play once it's all said and done.
Sure. Why do you think it's better than Magic card, like the Magic clones? And
Well, in this game, I mean, I guess as a creature, it would be, still better than Magic ones because in this game, like, all the effects are permanent.
Okay.
So, when you clone something, I would assume anyway that you would get all their buffs as well.
Well, that is the way it works in Magic. When you clone something, it actually clones the mana cost, the creature type, the whole card is cloned.
Yeah, but
on top of that,
like,
when it dies, it'll go to your graveyard, not your
sure,
opponent's.
but
and I think that's
in Magic,
the big part.
if something has an enchantment on it, you don't also get the enchantment.
Well, sure, but you would get, yeah, you're right, you would get the permanent effects, but you wouldn't get the enchantment because there are no enchantments.
Yeah. Well, I think he's trying to say, Charles, is like, since the effects are permanent, like your guy will have +2/+2 when you mimic him. The mimic version will have +2/+2 as well.
Right, yeah, that's obvious.
Which is true. Oh, it's very obvious. Okay, Mutate. This is a card I kind of want to talk about just a little bit because I love Twisted Image. Like, I thought that card was so much fun to play and it blew people out and it was like such a cool card. I actually think this card is worse because the effect is permanent. I don't know like how true I am on that. Maybe it's just like a over assumption, but I really feel like, first of all, this costs 1 more than Twisted Image did, but it does the same effect. But like I don't like that it's permanent because like with Twisted Image you could like take like your Delver that's a 2/3 and someone tries to you could change your your over the top power to make it vulnerable to like burns and stuff, and then it will switch right back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can't do that with this card unless you want your guy to forever be a like 1/7 or something. So I don't know. I like this card. I like the effect. I just wish it wasn't permanent.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Necrotic Merchant's a creeper and looks really weird. I like him.
Yeah, we got another Coyote here. Like,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was talking about this guy. 4-drop 2/4 with Sockable Miner. All right, go Sean.
that's it. Like,
Yeah, that's it.
That's
That's
it.
all there is to say about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Good job, guys. We got a lot of discussion about Oracle Song. What do you? I actually like Oracle Song. Old Divination. Like,
Yeah, I love that card. I think it's a very good benchmark for all card drawing spells.
not,
I mean,
not good.
there
to
is
cast.
still there is still that one card that isn't spoiled yet or end game yet. That'll be data mined. That I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, just in case they're like, oh my god, like you spoiled a card for me. But like it's in the hex data folders, and there's a card that is probably a better card draw spell
yeah, it for
than
sure is.
the old divination.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Meditate, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that card a lot. It's really cool. Like we data mined a couple cards, and I'm not really sure like if we're allowed to talk about them or not, or like what the taboo is on that or whatever. But I don't want to talk about them too much. We'll talk about them once
I
they
think
come
the
up.
servers just went down.
There's no NDA, so
I'm still battling.
I'm still battling. He says
allegedly.
I mean, it's a really close game actually. So
Sure, Sabotage. Get Storm Colossus. 7-drop 6/6 Flight Spell Shield. Get there. Ancestor's Chosen's a good win condition. Is that what that guy's?
Yeah, I'm getting login fail, so I don't know. You might be able to finish out what you're doing, but
I mean, if a control deck needs a finisher, I think Stormcloaks could actually maybe fill that role.
Sure. And moving on to my favorite blue drop, the Unmerciful Tormentor. Cool. All right, Thunderbird didn't change. I think his card's still really good. Time Ripple, still good. Wizard of the Silver Talon. I'm not really sold on this guy anymore because I think there's better 4-drops than blue, which we knew was probably going to happen anyway. But I'm not a big fan.
yeah,
of
there's
him.
probably certainly better 4-drops.
Yeah, like the 3/3 unblockable guy that blows up a resource. That's pretty good. Yeah, what you talked a little bit about yesterday, John? I know we talked a little bit about it at dinner tonight. Me and you were talking a little bit.
Well, it's in Magic there's a card called Evacuation, and it's basically that. I mean, card word for word, cost and everything. That's what it is. And it was a pretty good Magic card. It was played every once in a while in certain decks, and this game I could see it as kind of like a like a blue Wrath of God basically. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely serves the same effect, and it's only cost 5. That's still pretty playable. You know what I mean? That's not like it's too
right.
overly costed or anything. So I like it.
Yeah.
Blue. All right, moving on to green, which I think is the best shard. I don't think anybody has any disagreement that it's by far the best shard.
Well, maybe not by far, but it is, in my opinion,
it's got a lot of
the
good
best
things.
shard. But like Sapphire and Ruby are kind of close, but like still they have some ways to go. Like once all of Wild's cards actually work properly in game, then it'll be like much better. But Crash of Rhinos isn't working properly apparently. So
Yeah, it's not. It's not making tokens. It just like doesn't work. So that sucks. Let's see. Clefairy,
On top of that, we don't have sockets working yet either.
yeah.
yeah,
For
no
things like
sockets.
Battle Beetle, like I'm playing Battle Beetle without the socket, and it's definitely not nowhere near as good as it could be.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously a big downside. See, Crash of Beast isn't working right now, but this card is actually absurd and very, very good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I know one guy on stream had 2 of them. He had 2 of them in his hand. He played the first one, and of course, it didn't make tokens. He was like really, really upset about it. But yeah, that's a huge blowout. I mean, I'm gonna say a blowout, but like, turn 3 make a Rhino, turn 4 make 2 of them. Like that's pretty good.
Yeah, like I think that it's the best escalation card.
Oh, I agree for
So.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's safe from like heat wave. I can foresee them changing this card into like a 3/2 or something.
Yeah.
I don't think it will stay at a 3/3 because like right now it's really, really strong. Like 3 toughness is like the magic toughness. Not a lot of stuff kills that.
Yeah, there's no lightning bolt right now.
Yeah, unless they print like a ratchet bomb or something. I don't know what they're gonna do, but like right now it's very very strong. You know, it's kind of random. It's like kind of random too. You know, if you see two of them, it's gonna be really hard to beat if you don't see any of them, honestly.
Tokens aren't anything like they are in Magic either. I mean, a ratchet bomb in this format would do nothing. Literally nothing.
Yeah. Tokens have casting costs in this game, which is pretty cool.
Sure. I mean, you're right. But what I meant was a card that was designed to kill a bunch of tokens. So.
Right.
Sure. So evolve didn't change. Pharaoh Ogre. So Gas Troll. Let's talk a little bit about like these two cards right here. I want to talk a lot about. So like Gas Troll, John. What'd you talk about? Why this card's really OP right now?
Well, currently, it's kind of broken because it triggers off of the ruby shards. I don't know if that's intended or not. If it is intended, then the card is very, very, very good. I don't think it's supposed to be intended because I think it makes it a little bit too good.
Right.
But
as you're playing your resource shards, those should be colorless. Those shouldn't have a color associated with them.
Correct. Yeah.
I mean, they're colorless in Magic, right? So we don't like we don't want to say like they should be colorless, but I don't, whether or not they're colorless or not, they shouldn't trigger a 1/1. They shouldn't trigger this 1-drop guy that like. I mean, you play him out on turn 1, then like on turn 4, you know, he's a 4/4. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty absurd. You know, we've seen people have like 2 of them out and just like shit on people. Like, I don't know. It's very very good.
You need to go take a bath? Sorry guys, I'll click out.
So that blood guy that we talked about earlier, the goblin guy, Demented Demolisher.
Okay,
like,
let me get to him real quick.
I think that card is I'm sorry if I didn't chime in when we were talking about it. I was probably actually building my deck, but I think he's a lot better than people are giving him credit for. In fact, this game right here that I'm playing, he's going to kill me.
Where is he?
Even if I kill him, like all the cards he's drawing are just all like actual spells, instead of lands, where I'm just drawing lands. So, and he's a 3/3. Like, yeah, see,
I think he's really good. Like, I thought he was really neat. Yeah,
he's
5-drop 3/3. Like,
yeah, he's really good with escalation cards. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. I never thought about that too. I mean, Black does Black even have an escalation card?
Yeah, they have the one that draws the card off your opponent's deck, but like he's certainly like he's much better with cards like Ragefire and what's the green one? Crash of Rhinos, just cards like that.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's neat. He also, I mean, it's a pretty powerful effect. I mean, I've never played with something like that, so I don't know much about it, but it seems to be very strong.
Yeah, like I could probably build a deck with him here real quick. Probably wouldn't take much.
So how about old Fist of Brigadon?
He's awesome. I mean, I was able to play him in my last game, but like he just got like Chaos Keyed, so.
That sucks. There's no real way to deal with Chaos Key.
I mean, this is my guy right here. I love him.
Let's talk about him, Sean.
I do need to take.
Like I said, outside of like Chaos Key or like an Extinction, like you like have very little choice of dealing with this guy. Later. Like, and he is a 7/7 Invincible Crush. I don't see why it says it must attack if able. That might as well not even be there, because I don't know why you would never attack with him.
Dude, you chump because you can keep him back to chump block.
Sure, you could chump block with him all day.
What is Invincible Modifier? Invincible Modifier is the exact same as Indestructible. Like, they cannot die unless their toughness is reduced to 0. So, like, if you use something to make it 0, they'll die. Or if you use, like, a Chaos Key effect.
Remove from the game.
Yeah, remove them from the game.
You basically need Chaos Key or, like, Inner Conflict.
Or a Sacrifice effect, too, right?
Yeah, it's a sack, yeah. Because then you target your own guys.
Yes, they can be voided. I have to read Extinction. I think Extinction says...
I misspoke when I said that.
Extinction says... Destroy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, no, then it won't work.
Yeah, that won't work.
Yeah.
Just Inner Conflict and with Chaos Key. I think are the two
we
easiest
talked about
answers.
being able to play this guy on turn 4 or turn 3 or something. Like,
you can turn 3 him.
Yeah, turn 3. I mean, that's just absurd. Like, I'm sorry, there's there's nothing you can do about that. Like, that's gonna be very annoying to deal with. So,
like you have to have the answer like now, or you just die to it.
Genesis Hydro has been pretty cool too. I should think that card's not terrible.
Yeah, I like it. It was pretty good for me.
Yeah, I've seen some people play it, and like it's done very well.
There we go. Isaku knows what's going on here.
Yeah,
7 atrophies is what you need to kill this guy.
Never mind. He's terrible. Let's see. Gigantify. The old +7/+7. Howling Brave. Tata, what you say a little thing or two by him if you're not busy playing games.
It's my no, I was on the deck, but he's actually one of my favorite cards in the entire game. And in fact, I was thinking about playing him in this deck I'm building now, but like then I realized that Crash of Rhinos like isn't working at the moment, so it'd be kind of pointless. But like it's the only acceleration in the game right now that costs less than 3, and that's very relevant. So the guy, all the streamers right now are actually playing that guy as well. But
Yeah.
he's really good.
It's an automatic. He's a Land War Elf. He's better than a Land War Elf ever was.
Yeah. For some reason, like cards aren't going into this deck. This is weird.
Yeah, Honeycap's is pretty good too, right? We talked about him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that guy's really good. He works really well with Howling Brave too. You can get like a turn 3 out Honeycap that's still a 4/4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. All right, moving on. It's unbelievable. Okay. Ruts of the Litter was changed too. It just makes 2 Battle Hoppers instead of 3 now.
Instead of 3,
Yeah,
and
but
it
it
costs
costs
1
1.
less.
Yeah, like you get more dudes per resource cost, so like it's fine.
I don't know that they needed to nerf that card.
Well, I don't think they nerfed it.
I feel like they did.
I think it's a buff, like personally.
Me too. I agree. I mean, you pay 1 mana to get 2 guys instead of 2 to get 3.
2 for 3. I'd rather have more bodies.
They nerfed the art. Dude,
I
I think this art's sick, man. Look at this little guy sitting up here. Like,
Those guys are so pissed.
They're pissed.
Like,
This guy on the right is like the maddest out of all of them. This guy like looks a little surprised. Like it's like he doesn't know who you are, but he still kind of wants to beat the shit out of you. But this guy's like, oh, I know who you are.
like you are
I'm-
offending me so much right now.
Pissed at Nerf Clarity. Pact of Life, it's pretty bad, but it's pretty cool. Like I hope that they make the pack for the other colors. I feel like there's another card I want to talk about, but I haven't seen it yet. Maybe it's down.
I don't
there.
think they'll make packs for other colors. Like it,
Yeah.
Pact of Life and Pact of Death or whatever. Like they're just opposites, and they make sense flavor wise. Like I don't think they'll make other packs. Like maybe in other sets down the road, maybe, but like I don't really see it.
Sure, Turbulence. That's something to know that it's there. If for some reason there's a flight, a deck that has a lot of flight creatures or Pact of Randomness for Shaggy. Don't worry, it'll be in blue too. I'll be like, oh, what is it? Pact of Random. God.
Now there is an incantation for each color, so I mean that's
cool.
that's something to look forward to.
Sure, that's cool. Tyrannosaurus Hex. I mean, the guy's a 6-drop 6/4 with Crush, whatever. But the name is really cool. So that was neat. They also made Azumi a 6-drop instead of 7-drop, which, when we talked about it, we suggested the same thing, as they lower her cost down a little bit, because an aggro deck is not going to want to play a 7-drop. They're still not going to want to play a 6-drop, so I think she's still bad, but...
Like,
Right.
Their 6-drop needs to win. If they're going to play one, it has to actually win. Like
Yeah.
that Overrun card. Like that is the one card that they might play that's like more than like 3 or 4 mana.
Yeah, they also nerfed my Wildebeest, too. I don't know why they thought that was cool.
Yeah, like the T-Rex card. I mean, it's in the mono green deck that I just built just for lack of like other options. Like
Sure.
ones I can play, like the Green Dragon or Crash of Rhinos and cards like that, like won't get played. But it's a crawl worm with trample. Like that's all you gotta think about.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, a 6-drop 6/4 in a world where there's nothing else to play is okay. But I mean, right now, it's not what I want to like look for. I didn't see this card and was like, yes, finally, the 6-drop 6/4 of my dreams. So, Verdant Wildeboar, they nerfed it to 2 instead of 1.
Mm-hmm.
So that bummed me out whenever we saw that, because I really liked that card. I thought it was really fun to play with. It's really good in that black deck you're building too, if you play the old Wild Child. Nothing here. There was like the card I really want to talk about, which I think is really cool. This right here, this Wild Growth. I think this is like such a cool card.
Oh yeah.
The 1-drop target troop gets +3/+3, and then the cost becomes 0 and it gets shuffled in.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's sick. I think that's so cool. It's also like quick action too.
Yeah.
And it
It's
has
not going to get
amazing
shuffled in
art.
the next time.
Yeah. Someone said I look like the feral ogre in chat. Thanks, for that, by the way. But I think I look more like this wild growth guy, dude. Like I'm all buff. I'm just like gonna wreck you, and like I scream at my hand a lot. Like I don't. That was me. Thanks, Shad.
Ah!
Wild Root Dancer. I think it's gonna be the last card we talk
Hands.
about. I don't know what you guys think about him, but Wild Root Dancer. What do you think?
Wild Root Dancer,
Yeah.
like it's awesome. Like I mean, I really like that guy. There's certain decks that he slots into. I mean, red green's probably one of them. Mono Wild's of course one of them. Like any deck that plays green can probably play this guy. Blue green tempo might not play him, but red green certainly probably will. Mono green, but it's just an overall pretty solid card. Like I like it quite a bit.
Yeah, I do too. I've seen a lot of people misplay this card in streams. It'll be like their turn 4, and then they'll like play out a resource and play them out. It's like
Yeah, or they'll use them on like the wrong guy. But
yeah, sure.
it's a card that makes you think a little bit, and you kind of have to plan for him. So,
Yeah, I
but
agree.
he's good.
I like him too. I like him before you did. So I'm not gonna talk about any
probably.
of these. I'm not gonna talk about any of these. Guys, get back to us on the stream here. Everybody else is going. Apparently, Sean, it's just me and you. No one else has cameras anymore. I don't know.
All right then.
Yeah.
I have a camera, it's just not doing what it's supposed to do.
Sure. All right, guys. So, are we gonna be able to play some games, or what we got? What's next?
Well,
I've been trying to log in, and it hasn't been
yeah, the
logging
server's
in.
down right now.
The
Like,
servers
someone
are
just
down?
pointed out, and someone pointed out in my Twitch chat. But
Yeah, I know, dude.
Yeah,
Charles is still eating fucking Chuck E. Cheese up there. Like he's been at Chuck E.
Whoa.
Cheese. Someone died actually at Charles' house. Someone's been killed. Someone got
yeah, the servers are down right now,
Stabbed
like
to death.
because I realized when I was building a deck, like it wouldn't put the cards into my deck, and I'm like, what is going on here? And then
Sure.
someone pointed out that the servers were down. Let's go. Cool.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Well, sorry guys, we didn't get to play any games. Like I was really hoping we would be able to do that. But yeah, so like me and Sean and Dusty are still waiting for our beta invites. John's the luckiest man alive and got one of his buddies to help him out or something. I don't know. Like
Even though he's sitting at king tier.
yeah, that's good. He has like a $10 tier and he gets to do whatever he wants. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could watch some of John. Well, the servers are down. We can't actually. I'm sorry, man. We actually cannot play. The servers are down. And it's
Yeah, the
sweet at
servers
Chuck E.
are
Cheese.
quite down.
Yeah, so unfortunately, guys, we can't. I think that's all we're going to do for tonight. You can go over to, I guess, John's stream if you want to watch him. Fail at life or whatever he does over there.
That's all I saw him doing.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, get shit on by a bunch of random.
I mean, I actually probably would have lost to a deck that played the 1-drop 1/1 flying Pegasus, but fortunately for me, the stream or the game crashed or something, and I was able to squeak that one out
Sure.
by technicality.
Sure, but
My stream is just click on my name, like in chat, about 5 names above you, and you can just go to my channel.
yeah, watch him do nothing. That's good. Yeah. So before we go, guys, I do want to thank Cryptozoic though for all their hard work of getting the game going. I know that a lot of people are giving them a lot of shit right now, and I think very unneedlessly for sure. I think the game is freezing a lot, but it's alpha. Like I mean, you can't wish for everything. You know what I mean? I think the game is going pretty smooth for how early it is in development. So the game looks
Right.
great. Can't wait. Pretty pumped to get in and start playing myself. Also, please check out John. He'll be streaming a lot because he has a beta key. And Charles, check them out. Both of their links are below. Actually, I'll just switch over to this real quick and show you guys. I actually got Charles is on here, but they're both right here. So John's here and Charles is here. Please go check them out over the weekend. I'm not sure if they'll be playing or what's going on, but check them out. I'll also be streaming as soon as I can get a beta key or be able to jump in and play. Sean will be doing the same thing as well. I know. Sean, did you ever get your stream working, Bob?
Yeah, it's
Good.
up.
It's up. It's working. Cool.
So on top of all that, also, if you go to my channel, I have a Ventrilo server, which you're welcome to use. If you're in my channel and I'm streaming, you're welcome to talk to me directly instead of having to type things in and, just get some just talk back and forth going on. I think I have a 25-person limit on that server. It's an old Ventrilo server, I know. So you're welcome to use that to play or to talk to me or talk to other streamers or whatever. Anyone is basically welcome to use it for Hex to talk to the streamers. Other streamers can use it as well.
Awesome. Real quick, I'll just do the thanks for the overtime. Please check us out at Facebook. The old HexTcgPro on Facebook. Like us, check us out. We always link all of our new articles and streams and everything on here, so please come check us out. We always appreciate it. Also, you can come to our website at HexTcgPro.com and check out John's article for the spoiler release. And if you missed our fan site previews, you can always check that out and enjoy it because it's awesome. It's the best thing ever.
Yes.
Do you guys want to say anything before we go?
No.
Shaggy is Wood 5. I don't know what that means. But is that League of Legends? Is that what you guys talking about? What tier are you, Shaggy? I am Pro Tier. I'm Pro Tier. Sean, I'm an actual Pro Tier. That was a joke. That was an actual thing. I'm actually Pro Tier. Sean, are you Pro Tier as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Dusty is too.
Mm-hmm.
And John is like Dirt Tier. He's like
I went double king.
He's
Like
double
I
dirt.
just yeah.
double Dirt.
I just wanted all the cards at first. I don't really care about the free draft a week because I'll just be drafting all the time anyway. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
sense.
So you gave, John gave him like 350, and they just sent him like Cryptozoic just sends him a box of dirt every day, like every week. That's the tier he got. So that's pretty cool.
Oh my god.
Unfortunately, another one of Charles' kids died, so that's unfortunate. So it's probably a good time to get off here, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. You're all awesome. Every one of you are the coolest. I'm so happy the alpha's finally out and we can start getting the community going, be able to watch everyone's streams and do these videos. Oh man, that was Charles' kids. Well, for sure it wasn't my dog, so yeah, I'm guessing that was Charles' kid. You guys know waterboarding is illegal, right? So yeah, guys, please come check us out. More at HexTcgPro. Once we all get to streaming, hopefully we can start having cool little stream battles and events. And once I get the game, I'm going to start doing my daily. So Monday through Thursday, I'll be doing a video every single day, covering a deck tech or a video, or breaking down play or something. I'll be doing a specific video for about an hour every day. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. John, Sean, anything else to say before we go?
Sean.
Wish I was playing.
I know
That's the biggest thing right now. Is wish I was
Hey,
playing.
I wish I was playing too. But
Oh, here
Sure,
we go.
sure.
There we go.
unfortunately, I'm just staring at a non-responsive screen here. So
Oh, darn.
Darn it.
I feel bad for you.
Yeah. If you guys can just donate to John so he can be compensated for his terrible time he's having.
my time loss here. This is really costing me.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please check us out. I'll have this video up on YouTube. For all the YouTube watchers, Shaggy TV, twitch.tv/Shaggy TV. There's too many TVs in there. I need to do something about that. Sean doesn't have this stream up yet. John, twitch.tv/ it's like HTP_Tata or something, right?
Yeah, JTata _JTata.
Oh, _JTata. Charles, his is Errant Squire, so it's twitch.tv/Errant Squire. So please go check those guys out. They're all awesome. Guys, love you so much. We'll see you guys next week. Not sure what we're going to do. We should actually have our games. We can play some games and do something very interesting, interactive next week. So what I would like to do next week is for you guys to submit decks, and we'll play them. So, all right, guys. Thanks you so much. John, Sean, everybody say goodbye. Bye-bye.